to be vigilant as Garda investigations continue into 3 separate attacks on older people in their homes. An appeal for witnesses has been launched after 2 elderly people were threatened at knife point in Grona in Cork City shortly after 7:30 yesterday. The intruder left the scene with a sum of cash. The man in his 70s and woman in her 80s were treated at the scene for non-life-threatening injuries. Similar aggravated burglaries have taken place in Sligo and Kildare in recent weeks. Minister Charlie McConalogue says these attacks are despicable.
Everybody has the right to feel safe. Any threat or any attack severely undermines that and people's sense of their own security. So I know it's something that the Gardaí and in terms of community policing are prioritising and are assessing and providing support in local communities. And also there's a real role there as well for local communities to be aware of their neighbours and to provide that sense of support too.
The Minister for Foreign Affairs says war in the Ukraine is not inevitable. Simon Coveney's comments come as Germany's new Chancellor heads to Kiev for talks with the Ukrainian President before travelling to Moscow to warn Vladimir Putin of the heavy consequences of an invasion. Simon Coveney says he's cautiously optimistic that war can be avoided.
I think war can be averted, but we also have to be realistic that it is a very real possibility, and we have to be prepared for how we would respond to that. And certainly over the weekend, I would not have given the instruction to change the travel advice to ask all Irish citizens in Ukraine to leave immediately if I wasn't concerned.
The issue of the continued use of face masks in schools will be the focus of talks today. Public health advisors and officials from the Department of Education are meeting to consider what COVID measures should stay in place after the midterm break. It's the first formal review of the situation in schools since restrictions in wider society eased. The CEO of the National Parents Council, Anya Lynch, says many parents want to see the rules around masks relaxed.
Generally, they're concerned about their children's social emotional development, and the children are not, don't want to wear them. So every day, sometimes it can be a struggle getting them to put them on. And I think, and then on the other side of it, they're saying their children aren't wearing them properly. They often pull them down to talk to each other.
Sunny spells to start today. Isolated showers early on, but they'll die out in the afternoon. Highest temperatures 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. It'll feel cooler though in a fresh to strong northwest wind. Cold and frosty tonight to start, but temperatures will rise as the night goes on. A strengthening southwest wind will veer westerly with heavy rain, bringing a risk of localised flooding in places. That rain will clear as we head toward morning, with showers following. Tomorrow Tuesday mostly dry to start with some sunshine, moderate to fresh westerly winds backing southerly for a time. Again tomorrow temperatures hitting 5 to 7 degrees Celsius. That's Highland Radio News. Back with more at 10 o'clock.
Love can conquer fear. When you already struggle, shocks like COVID can be devastating. In East Africa, everything just shut down, and Wubit was left with no way to feed her children. That's when Trokra provided a sewing machine and training to make face masks. Now Wubit has a new skill she can use to provide for her family in the long term. To find out more about how women have conquered fear and gained independence, visit trokra.org/change. Trokra, until love conquers fear.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today. And now, it's time for the talk of the Northwest, the 9 to noon show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
And a very good morning to you. It is 4 minutes past 9 on this Monday, the 14th of February. It is Valentine's Day. And to mark Valentine's Day, St. Valentine's Day, we have a load of great prizes to give away on the programme over the 3 hours of the show. So if you want to be in with a chance to win something on this day for lovers, well then stay tuned. We'll give you details of how you can get involved in that in the not too distant future. We've lots coming up on the show. Our Monday focus is going to be really asking the question, where are we in terms of an enhanced Mica Redress scheme? We have a number of guests on at 11 to discuss that issue. There's that, and there's so much more besides. We want you involved in the programme as well. As I say, we hopefully have an entertaining show lined up for you, but if there is an issue you want to raise or a comment you wish to make, maybe something good happened to you, a good Samaritan helped you out, or a story you want to tell us in that regard too, the lines are open for all of it. 086 60 25,000 WhatsApps and texts, 086 60 25,000, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. And it's good to have Letterkenny Credit Union on board, bringing the show to you all this week as well. Right, now the Derry People Donegal News Monday edition this morning tells us that a number of planned surgeries scheduled to take place at Letterkenny University Hospital this week have been cancelled due to pressure on beds. It follows confirmation that the hospital has again been forced to implement its emergency escalation plan amid ongoing concerns around the impact of COVID-19 and increased activity due to winter-related illness. Additional temporary beds were opened in LUH each day last week, while one-time critical elective surgeries took place. Only time critical elective surgeries took place. Medical 6 has been opened as an overflow ward to try and alleviate the pressure within the emergency department. On to the Derry news now, and baby Lewis, born July 2020, has lived his whole life with a rare condition currently not recognised as a rare disease. Jennifer Lewis's mother said she has found that many consultants in the north do not know the best way to treat him, and it's left her feeling frustrated and abandoned. Lewis requires full-time care, and Jennifer is calling for Lewis's condition to be recognised as a rare disease, and you can read more on that in the paper today. On to the nationals now, and US President Joe Biden has been invited to visit Ukraine soon in a bid to send a signal to Russia. There's a couple of sort of realities ongoing at the moment. There's the international situation where a lot of people are all very worried about an imminent attack and the implications that might have, and get out of Ukraine, it's not safe. Yet within Ukraine, those people that would be most directly affected by this, there's more of a calmness. People are getting on with their lives as normal. Hopefully we'll be able to speak to some people from or originating from Ukraine on the programme. But if maybe you have an insight into that, maybe you are listening to us on your Alexa in Kiev. If you are over in Ukraine or you've got connections to Ukraine, get in touch with us, 086 60 25,000. But if you want to use the international dialing code, of course, 00353 8660 25,000. But Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky issued the invitation to Biden when he spoke to Mr. Biden by phone yesterday as tensions continue to rise over massive Russian troops building up on the border. But what is in it for Russia to do some large-scale invasion? It doesn't make an awful lot of sense. It's possible they could do something similar to when they went in and annexed Ukraine. I'm not sure how many bullets were fired during that process, but we shall see what comes to pass. We're being told in the Irish Times that tens of thousands of people are affected by a severe shortage of family doctors, as news figures show 13 GP areas for medical card holders have been without a permanent physician for a year or longer. Health Service executive figures show there are 26 vacancies for doctors on general medical services panels covering more than 17,000 medical card holders, and more than half of these vacancies are in towns and villages in rural areas. The numbers do not include tens of thousands more private patients served by GPs in this area. And that is a problem we've been flagging on this programme for a number of years. We haven't really. We have hosted GPs expressing this concern. Where are the replacements? And it's a problem that needs to be resolved as soon as is possible. Right, on to the Irish Daily Mail now, and hotels have cancelled travellers' bookings, telling them they've been double booked to stop them from organising weddings or other family events. The Irish Traveller Movement has claimed common hotel excuses include a double booking, a mistake by a staff member for non-availability at the venue, excuses that don't apply when a non-traveller applies for the same dates, the ITM said. The group said it got non-travellers to call hotels to check the way of investigation or by way of investigation of malpractice. In one case in 2019, a traveller woman whose daughter was due to marry booked a wedding venue for 150 guests, which was cancelled with 1 week's notice, the ITM said. The hotel cancelled the wedding with an apology, and there had been an error resulting in a double booking, which was only spotted a week in advance. However, the family attests that on booking, there was clarity across all of booking requirements and deposits given well in advance, the group said. It said the problem is a consistent finding when hotels take a booking and discover later the person is a traveller. The ITM and Irish Human Rights and Equality Commissioner calling for an amendment to the Intoxication Liquor Act, which would move discrimination cases currently taken to the District Court to the Workplace Relations Commission, where payouts to victims of discrimination are larger. Right, on to the red top tabloids here. And the Sun has the Sun reports that a justice campaigner has described laws that would allow prosecutors to challenge sex offenders' character references in court as fantastic, but insists the practice should be scrapped altogether. Kildare native Emma Jane Dempsey has been campaigning for an end to politicians writing references for people involved in sex crimes. Fine Gael Senator Regina Doherty has proposed new laws that will make people who provide such character references, well, they'd have to do so under oath and be open to face cross-examination. Doesn't seem terribly unreasonable. Senator Doherty said victims are being re-traumatised by current practices which can put others off taking a case in the first place. So I suppose the victim has already gone through a very difficult trial, and they're sitting there and their local TD or senator or leading business person is full of praise of the person perhaps found guilty of attacking them. You can see how that would be very worrying. All right, on to the Irish Daily Mirror now, and a total of 143 cases of suspected sex abuse in nursing homes and residential disability centres were reported in the last 7 years. This, of course, something we're acutely aware of in this part of the world. There were 87 in nursing homes and 56 in the disability centres, the Health Information and Quality Authority has revealed. It's understood the vast majority of victims were elderly and disabled women, and many had dementia. The allegations were made by relatives, anonymous sources and staff, including the HSE safeguarding and protection team. Some of the cases were referred to the Gardaí, but others weren't, and they didn't get involved until the HICWA forced facilities to do so. So you're having your first line of the law, in inverted commas, is the person or the organisation receiving the accusation. Surely all of those accusations should be forwarded on to Gardaí, shouldn't they? Last year was the worst, 32 reported incidents, followed by 2016 with 27. In the first few weeks of 2022, 5 cases were to come to light. All right, that is the Mirror there. And finally, actually, I've lost the story from the start. The paper, that page I was looking at has got lost in the jumble. But that was a look at some of the stories in the newspapers this morning. 086 60 25,000. WhatsApp or text 086 60 25,000, or call 074 91 25,000. We will be right back.
The newspapers are courtesy of Kelly Centra, Mountaintop, Letterkenny.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from 40,000 to 600,000 euro with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Is your water safe to drink? If your water tastes unpleasant or has a foul smell, it may be a sign that something is in your water. Brothers Tech Donegal provide a complete private well water treatment service using the best water treatment equipment to meet your needs. Or maybe you drilled a new well and the water isn't satisfactory. At